Hello and welcome to Call of Discovery, the podcast where we celebrate Keyforge, its community, and the excitement of discovery. And, dear listener, you actually know something I don't right now, because I actually don't know what this deck discovery is going to be titled, because we haven't opened the deck yet. And by we, I mean I'm using the power of technology to put something in front of the wonderful, the incomparable Ed Pocock. Hello, Ed.
Hello. I can't wait to exchange thoughts on this new set with you, Zach.
Well, don't get too windy, Ed. Yes. So Ed can't see my face, which is great because instead he is actually looking at one of my sealed decks from Keyforge Celebration. It still is sealed, even though I very much just wanted to open this and see it because it's a Winds of Exchange deck. It's super exciting. I'm obsessed. But for the sake of you, Ed, for the sake of you, this deck and one more, dear listener, you'll have another of these episodes. What this has been kept fresh, kept sealed, kept untampered with. So I'm sure it's just completely full of blorbs. I don't even know if Ed knows what that means.
I don't know what that means, Zach. I don't. But the box looks majestic. It looks exciting. It's also got a kind of retro vibe to it, I think. It's just one of those traditional cardboard boxes, and you're going to open it, and it's going to give that satisfying click when you open it. You know, the kind of satisfying click that just can't be undone. I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Me too. Me too. So what we're going to do, dear listener, is we're going to pop this open. We'll look at the name of the deck, and then I will be showing Ed the deck card by card. This will all be... how new will all these cards be to you, Ed?
Completely new, Zach. So our long-time listeners will know that I have a really short attention span. Sorry, I mean our long-time listeners will know that I don't like to get involved with all of the spoilers, and that actually I like just to discover cards as they come out, as I see them in the wild. And this counts, guys. This counts as seeing it in the wild because this is the excitement of the call of discovery right up close and personal. So I'm excited.
And as far as seeing the cards in the wild, that is the legal designation for my office, is the wilds.
Oh, great! I'm glad.
Yeah, so you're covered. You're covered there.
I thought
Not...
it was a jungle.
Well, yeah. My jungle of an office, I guess. Maybe Keyforge is the jungle. Anyways,
yeah.
So I will be
Semantics.
using I will be using my knowledge of the set, having played it a bunch at Celebration. I went a few at the time of listening a few weeks ago to Tabletop Royale and played a Winds of Exchange deck there. So I have a decent amount of it under my belt. So I'll give any context or fun little tidbits as Ed discovers this deck live on the microphone. Ed, you remember the last time we opened a deck like live on the microphone together? This was a while ago.
It was probably like the first episode you joined the podcast. I think it feels like many millions of moons ago, and so I feel very humbled and excited to be doing it again. To be honest.
Yeah, it was when we did when NARP was called CD-ROM, the deck practicing method. I came up with, and I opened a Worlds Collide deck live on the microphone and committed to, and eventually, 16 months later, completed 150 games with that deck, Keepers the Strong Chin. So no 150 game commitment here, just a whole lot of Ed Pocock joy. So
I still can't believe you did that, Zach. Going back to my short attention span here, I think that follows through of playing decks repeated times. And do you know what? I really am amazed at your patience, at your just your ability to kind of go it again with a deck and again and again and again. If I remember rightly, it wasn't a very sort of profound deck either.
It was profound in that its normalcy and its clunkiness taught me deep Keyforge lessons.
Yeah.
If you practice with a really good deck, I mean, there's plenty there, and knowing the deck is good, but I was forced into so many situations of having to play to to very extreme outs, or and I did a lot of adaptive when that was still a format. So I got very good at chain bidding as well. So yeah. Sweaty Zach says deck knowledge is the scarcest resource in Keyforge. So playing a deck 150 times really taught me how to do that. But we're not here to be sweaty. We're here to be giddy.
Woo!
This. I'm going to try to be giddy Zach here
Yeah,
with
giddy
Ed
Zach. Well,
Pocock.
you already are sweaty Zach. You can't help it. You beat Voltor winners for breakfast these days. It's just part of who you are, Zach. It's part of who you are.
Well, it was for dinner because Nathan bought me dinner. So, anyways, without further ado, Ed, I think it's time to unseal.
It is time.
I want
to hear
vault.
that click. I want to hear that click.
Okay, well we've got to slice this tape a little bit here.
Oh,
slice the tape.
Not your fingers.
And then
no.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Still got 10 fingers. Yeah.
All right, I tried to open that near. Okay. Deck list side down. Ooh, okay, so we're going to get to see our token.
Why is there a picture? Why does it look different? What is this?
Excellent. Okay. So, first off, I'm going to read the name, then I'm going to answer Ed's question. So, this is Phan, the veterinarian of Taxation. Fantastic. We kind of have a ghostly owl with, it looks like 6 walking limbs in yellow for the Archon. We have Mars, Saurian, and Unfathomable. And Ed, yeah, there's a little picture there, isn't there? There's a little bit of art. Let me get this out of the wrapper, and I can show you that art more closely. And then
that satisfying deck opening sound. Wow.
Eventually reveal to you what that art means. If it wouldn't slow down the process, I would have crinkled the plastic near the microphone here, but I'm trying to open well without marking up this fan too much.
But you know what? The anticipation is killing me. It's all good.
All right.
We've got 2 of my favorite houses there.
you mean not Mars? 2 not Mars houses? It is poetic that we've opened up a Mars house. All right, so bringing us up to the camera a bit for Ed.
Yeah.
So that is a bit of a... so it's a dinosaur, one of the kind of like egg-eating omnivore types. So he had a little feathered arm. And Ed, what that is that is the art for the token creature included with the deck. Each house has 4 tokens associated with it. 1 that can be pulled in specially, and then 3 that are kind of pulled in normally. So, forgetting about the special ones, when this deck was generated, then looked at the 3 Unfathomable tokens, the 3 Saurian tokens, and the 3 Mars tokens, and picked one at random. And it has picked, let me actually grab the card for you, it has picked Scholar. And this is the reference card.
After Reap, draw 1 card. Interesting. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing in practice the After Reap. I like it. It's simple.
Yes.
Anything that makes it simple. Do you know what? I love the long form art there as well. Mm-hmm. And dear listener, what they've done is they've basically changed the shape of the card. So they've gone, do you know what? We don't need a load of text here. Let's enjoy the beauty of this art. And it's a dinosaur scholar pontificating around something, or maybe just contemplating around something. I think
yes,
it's a bit fuzzy.
Yes, there's a some sort of holographic document on top of a pillar being used as what looks like a kind of a bedside or a bench side table here. So yeah, the token is Scholar, 1 power. After Reap, draw a card. They also did that with Fight, where all fight effects now say after Fight, draw 1 card. Just to add clarity and make it much easier for newer players to understand. Because it really was, all those effects are after Fight and after Reap. So,
and Zach, just for some of our newer listeners or listeners unfamiliar with the new set, how do these token creatures work?
Sure. So when a card effect instructs you to make a token creature, you take the top card of your deck and put it face down into play. And then it is the creature. So we have this token card that's a reference card. It's going to be off to the side in any given game. And then every face down card on the table is a token creature. And so They are often smaller. They get as big as some are actually 5 power, but they have drawbacks. They're more normal 1, 2, or 3 power. And decks include all sorts of varieties of ways, at least three, and we've seen a lot more than that in some decks, ways to make token creatures from the top of your deck. And when you make a token creature, it's just a copy of whatever token was included with the deck. So when Phan, the Veterinarian of Taxation, makes a token, it is a scholar entering play ready. For the people who want to understand the nitpicky rules out there, it's entering play, and it's entering play exhausted, not ready. I may have misspoke there. So
Do you know what though? That looks like and sorry, listener as well. When Zach flipped the card, it's a reference card essentially as well on the back. So really, really handy, tackling some of the mechanics and themes that we'll be seeing in this set. Which I just think is anything that lowers that barrier to entry, that makes the game more
yes,
accessible to new players. I like that.
yes. The quick reference on the back of this card is like it was on the Tide cards in Dark Tidings, and if you're not familiar with that, once the deck is made on the back of this reference card, the computer program goes and grabs all of the keywords that are in the deck. Doesn't include any keywords not present, because if you're playing the deck, you won't need those necessarily. And it puts them all on here. So it's got definitions for token creature, splash attack, exalt, capture, poison, and skirmish, which is fantastic.
So this is
That was a
really
great
interesting because I,
touch.
I suppose if you've got all of your token creatures coming from one house, it
Mm-hmm.
essentially means you have a dominant house in the game, and you're going to get more value from that if you're calling that house more frequently, potentially. So I
Yeah,
suppose Saurian tokens are, on the whole, maybe more valuable than another house that might be a burst house or something.
yeah, yeah. No, that's for sure. I've played some decks that only mono make a small handful of tokens, and I've played some decks, and they're just those tokens help out a little bit, but mostly you're playing your normal effects on your cards. And then I have a few decks I've tested a little bit that are all about their token, that are all about their token and how you use the token. So I'm excited. And Ed, how about I can just start from the top here and we
Oh
just flip
yeah.
cards over and go, yeah?
Yes. Yes, 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 yes,
Excellent.
yes.
All right. What house is going to be first? Oh, of course, because it's Ed, we're going to have Mars.
Yeah,
And we have here
oh, that's a
Incubation Chamber.
familiar card.
It
Familiar card.
is a rare, I believe, first printed in Age of Ascension, or Call of the Archons. It's a classic Keyforge at this point. It's Omni, reveal a Mars creature from your hand if you do archive it.
Strong.
Yes, yes, a good card. If you get it early, then you're going to be omniing quite a bit, getting some speed. So we like that. So that's one artifact. Lovely. Oh, another reprint from Age of Ascension.
Yeah,
Yixlix Stim Rager.
I'm really glad you did the pronunciation on that. Oh, and look, we've got a capture icon on it as well.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
It
Okay.
is.
Hmm.
That is great. So Stim Rager will capture. Stim Rager is a 4/2, so that's pretty beefy. It can capture onto itself if we want. And then it has the updated text. It used to just say fight. Now it's after fight, deal 2 damage to a creature and move it to either flank of its controller's battle line. So, pretty fun, pretty
Nice.
useful effect. Yeah.
And that's a card you want to see that capture icon on as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because if nothing else, it can capture onto itself. And it's also nice that we've got at least one great creature that we can grab with Incubation Chamber.
Oh,
All right.
100%.
Only 10 more Mars cards, Ed. I think you can make it.
Yeah, I'm crying actually, but yeah.
This
Oh,
one,
this
Ed,
is new.
this is new.
Memrox
Memrox
the
the Red.
Red. Ooh.
Yes. Let's see. Are you able to make out that text?
Yeah, it's like a trip to the opticians. No, no, no. You got to put it further
Oh,
away. Just like there.
oh,
Perfect,
there we go. I
perfect.
did lock the. I did lock
It's
the the focus on this.
it says your opponent's cards cannot leave your archives. Gain 1 amber for each card in your archives. Oh man, this could be a real
Yes.
archive deck then. No Logos. Is Logos in this set?
It is not. It is not in
Oh,
this set. So yeah, we're
interesting.
already going to be archiving our own creatures, and Memrox has an action gain 1 for each card in our archive. So we've got at least one synergy here, which is great.
That's great.
Yeah.
And if Logos aren't in this set, that's why we're seeing the card drawer in Saurian, I suppose.
Yeah. It had to go live somewhere. Sorry, and even in Worlds Collide, I think had a few that would draw a few cards here and there. But
Yeah.
yes, it is nice. And Scholar, thematically, knowledge, Scholar, Logos.
Makes
Is
sense.
there. Yeah. So Memrock's a great card if we have especially ways to archive our opponent's creatures, or opponent's cards at least. All right. Mars card number 4. Zizok. This is fun. Zizok is a 3-power Martian soldier with Skirmish and Splash Attack 1. So Splash Attack, Ed, is a simplified version of what we saw on like Calfine and Mingle Bang Bang, where when this creature attacks, you simultaneously deal the splash attack damage to the attacked creature's neighbors.
Makes sense. I mean, we all referred to it as Splash anyway, so you might as well keyword it.
Mm-hmm. And then Zizok says, after an enemy creature is destroyed by Zizok's splash attack damage, ready Zizok. So great at wiping up the tiny critters.
Yeah, particularly with so many tokens in the set. I imagine this will be maybe disproportionately valuable if you've got a lot of one power creatures in sealed.
Yeah, 100%. I played a game at Celebration where the first third of the game was just me dealing with a Zizok completely wiping my board each time I played cards down.
Oh man. Man.
It was nasty. All right. So it's another Martian creature, which is great. Ooh, another reprint.
You got a lot of creature damage here.
Yes, this is ammonia clouds.
Wipe.
Yes. 3 damage to each creature, no chains. So
gosh.
Not bad.
You see, the challenge is mechanically I like Mars. It's just thematically. I really struggle, Zach. I really struggle with it.
Yeah, it was Richard Garfield's pet inclusion in the first versions of the game. For sure. Partly cloudy with a chance of acid rain. Nasty. Not good to live near a Martian battle station, that's for sure.
Nope.
Okay. Mars card number 6. Halfway through with this one.
Ooh. Clone home. Yeah, with your voice is better. So it's an action. Make a token creature. If there are more friendly creatures than enemy creatures, archive clone home. We've got more archive. Nice. Okay. Exciting.
Yes. Yeah, so this is a good one. Didn't get an enhancement on here, but yeah, this will archive itself if we're ahead on board, which is great.
I like the art on this. That's stunning.
Yeah. It'd also be nice that if this is archiving itself, because we might have a few Mars creatures from the incubation chamber.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. All right, second half of the Mars now. Ironic's Rebel. So this has deploy. It's 2 power, and it says play ready each of Ironic's Rebel's Mars neighbors.
Okay. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Gets a ready. If you got 2 Martians either side, token deck. If your deck's got a Martian creature as a token, unfortunately this one doesn't. I can see that one really coming into hand. And we got a damage pip on it as well. Great.
Yeah. We do indeed, and we've got 2 creatures that would love to be used twice in a turn, Stim Rager and Memrox the Red. So that is pretty fantastic. Or even just use the first turn they're played. Excellent. Next one is Kaboom!
Okay, that's more cool art. That is more cool art.
Yeah.
With a capture icon. Action, play. Put each Mars creature into its owner's archives. Destroy each creature. Gain 3 chains. Nice. Nice. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't even need to have that extra effect of, oh, if you got Mars, put it all in your archive. That's a one-sided board wipe.
Yeah, yeah, you can put away all your stuff, hide your Martians, and then blow everything up.
And with the most useless capture icon you could
Oh,
possibly imagine.
yep. That unfortunately is pretty dang useless.
What's the flavor text?
The flavor text is there was supposed to be a crucible shattering kaboom. And this is a Marvin the Martian reference, not a cartoon I grew up on, but
Okay. I've never heard
some.
of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A cartoon definitely played here in the U.S. But the art is a direct reference with the little Roman style plume helmet there. So really useful board wipe, especially because we've got some cool Mars creatures there. So I like it.
Mm.
I like it.
And maybe some more.
Perhaps let's see.
Nope.
Scoop up. Scoop up action with an amber pip. Put a friendly non-Mars creature and an enemy non-Mars creature into your archives. If that enemy
Mm.
creature would leave your archives, return it to its owner's hand instead. So there's a little of that synergy with Memrox the Red, where as long as Memrox is out, we could go ahead and pull our archives and not have to return the enemy creature.
Yep. Makes sense. And again, sort of new Martian art going on here with a UFO and a tractor beam. What's it capturing? What's it capturing?
It is. I'm gonna pull it up to my eyes real quick. Oh, I see. It's over the ocean. That's an Aquan. It really. I honestly did not.
Ah.
I did not figure that out until just now.
Well, you heard it here first, listener.
Yep. Yeah, that's an Aquan being abducted, which appropriate with Unfathomable being included here in the set and in this particular deck. All right, that is three. All right, three more Mars cards. Three more Mars cards. Another classic.
Oh, you can pronounce this one.
Yes, Xanthix Harvester. So this one, I love seeing returning cards get enhanced. So this one has a damage pip. Xanthix Harvester, three creature. It might be three creatures all in one. A 3-power beast. If Xanthix Harvester cannot be used, well, it has a non-Mars neighbor. After Reap, gain an amber. So Reap's for 2, but shuts down. Shuts down if it has somebody who's not Martian.
There's so much synergy in this Mars lineup. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays with the rest of the deck, because that was always an
Yes.
issue of Mars early on, wasn't it? You know,
Mm-hmm.
it would play really well if you had a 36 card deck of Mars creatures and action cards and wonderful things and contraptions, but any other houses came in and it kind of lost its edge a bit.
Yep. Yep, for sure. For sure. So yeah, we'll see how it does. Two
Mm.
more to round out this
Oh,
house.
ooh.
Ick,
The
ick.
Yick Slicks Mesmerist.
Yes. Bingo. Bingo.
5 power. Action. It's a creature. Obviously, 5 power. Action. A creature captures 1 amber from its own side. Okay.
Yes, a classic. We had that 2-power Mind Warper in previous sets, and so this is a 5-power, but without the elusive, doing the same thing here.
Yeah.
The flavor text is pretty funny. So the mesmerist in the art is in the background and using green Martian psychic energy to mind control what looks like a Svar elf from Shadows. And the flavor text says it didn't take a lot of psychic power to convince a thief to steal, but they used a lot anyways.
Oh,
Oh, Martians.
classic.
If you were real, you'd be terrible.
Yes.
And a second mesmerist. So that is our first double in the deck. Is 2 mesmerists. So
Yeah. I love a good double.
overall, some quality creatures in here. All do some good work and a decent amount of synergy between them.
Yeah, I'm looking to forward to hearing how the Mars lineup does within this deck for you.
Yeah. So that is 7 Mars creatures. So that'll hold a
Nom,
board.
nom,
7 Mars
nom.
creatures, 4 actions, 2 of which are board wipes.
Yeah.
1 of which makes a token, 1 of which is direct removal, and then the incubation chamber. So, how fun!
Perfect.
All
Who's going to
right.
be next? Is it going to be Saurian? Is it going to
And
be an unfathomable lineup?
whatever it is, it'll be the rare if there's a rare in the house, I think, because we've got the rares
Mmm.
on top here, which is
Nom, nom,
exciting.
nom.
Here we go.
Oh.
Oh, this is a new one. This is a new one. This is an artifact. Ambrosia Outpost.
Yeah. Amber Pip action. It's a location, and we love these Saurian locations, and it
Mm-hmm.
is a temple, there, or maybe a kind of diplomatic center of some kind. There is someone speaking to an audience with it in the middle, and just behind you can see it's got an open sky above it, and behind there is a big white, maybe marble or something, statue of a dinosaur with a big spear, and the clouds are parting. Yeah, so it says action: put a friendly creature on the bottom of its owner's deck. If you do, move 1 amber from a friendly creature to your pool. Oh, cool. So there's a synergy there with some of those Martian creatures that we just pulled out there, in terms of moving amber from your own creatures to your pool.
Yeah, for sure, Because we've got that capture, or we got those 2 capture pips. Although that poor Kaboom probably won't ever, do it. But yeah,
You'll find a way. If there's a way, Zach, it's the sort of thinky puzzle that you like to solve.
Yeah, and the other use for this outpost with the putting a friendly creature on the bottom of the owner's deck is if you have a token that is a card you want to play, you can grab that token and put it on the bottom of your deck with this. Because otherwise, you'd have to figure out some way to bounce the token to your hand or kill it off, and then before you flip your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck again. So,
Oh, that's great.
yeah, a little bit of token insurance. A little bit of
Mm.
token insurance, and this is an uncommon, so we might not have any Saurian rares here. Next Saurian card, City State
Ooh.
Interest.
This is one we've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Each friendly creature captures 1 amber. It's an action, and yeah, it's really nice if you've got a lot of creatures and your opponent's got a lot of amber and no board
Yes,
wipes.
for sure, and that's some good synergy with Ambrosia Outpost there. One way to capture, then we can just keep on taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have a new card, brand new card.
Yeah, Aquila, lone hero, 6 power, 1 armor, dinosaur soldier with an omni ability. Capture 1 amber if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, which is unlikely with this deck, I think. It's got a damage pip on it as well, but just having these types of strong board presences are always, I think, welcome in modern Keyforge.
Yeah. No, this card should be fun. It could definitely do a lot of work in sealed. I love that it's an Omni. It's a conditional Omni there. Capture 1 if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures. So, pretty cool. And it appears that Aquila, the lone hero, who is a dinosaur, is underwater fighting. Are they underwater? They
Under
are
the
somewhere
sea,
fighting
under
either
the
undersea things or
sea.
plant people. Not quite sure. Not quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, they are they are the consummate warrior. It would appear. All right, next Saurian card. Oh, another
Oh,
Aquila lone hero.
I love doubles.
Hilariously, we have 2 lone heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a love story, Zach. That's really cute. They met each other under the sea. One of them was damaged with a pip from a previous dinosaur relationship, and they fell in love.
Love always has Omni.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next we have Ballistego or Ballistigo. a, stego-
Whoa.
a Stegosaurus combined with a catapult.
I
Oh,
actually think that might be animal cruelty.
not according to Ballistego. Ballistego appears to be loving it.
Hmm.
Uh, Ballistego is 5 power dinosaur soldier. Play, you may exalt Ballistego. While Ballistego has amber on it, it gains splash attack 3. So it's big and it can get a bit bigger when it's got amber loaded up.
Oh, sorry, Zach. What did you say? I was just referring that one to the RSPCA.
Oh, I think the animal help people might have trouble taking them in. I'm not familiar with a whole lot of animal control programs that are equipped to be able to take out a Stegosaurus with a ballista loaded on its back, who very much is enjoying the state of being.
Mm.
All right, so 3 big beefy dinos, another Ballistego.
Oh,
And this one has a capture pip, which is great. You don't even have to exalt it.
I love this deck.
That's great. So it doesn't even have to exalt. This Ballistego was so serious about splash attack that it went ahead and got a capture pip. It's like, I don't even want to have to exalt myself. I'm going to use enemy amber for that. Amazing.
Brutal.
Amazing. Chancellor Dexterous.
And this is new too.
This is brand new. After Reap, so it's got 3 power, dinosaur politician. And it is the Chancellor is a raptor-esque dinosaur here, sleek face with somewhat of a forum in the background, holding out a trinket in front of a saurian-looking trinket in front of a Star Alliance uniformed person here. And they have the ability, after Reap, you may exalt Chancellor Dextrous's right neighbor. If you do, that creature belongs to House Saurian for the remainder of the turn.
It's very specific, but I guess it's something to do with having a right hand. In terms of politicians, often have a right hand.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it is a bit specific for the power to turn a creature into a completely different house is relatively powerful. So the exalt and then it must be on their right neighbor are 2 costs to help balance that out a little bit here.
Am I alone in thinking it's slightly ironic that in the image, Chancellor Dexterous is handing out something to someone to the left of them?
um, you're not wrong in your perception. However, the camera is flipping things left to right for reasons unknown to me.
Oh,
So over here in Georgia in the United States, Chancellor Dexterous is handing the thing over on the right side.
it's a conspiracy! It's a conspiracy! Oh wow. Okay, so when I actually see these cards, I'm going to be like, something feels strange.
Right. Yes, indeed. All right, moving on. Oh, yes. I'll let you read this one, Ed. This is a great one.
Okay, epic poem. We have an image of a dinosaur with some kind of, I don't know, early loot. And it says it's an action. It says play, exalt a friendly creature, put an amber on it. Gain 1 amber for each amber on that creature. Ooh. Oh, I like that. Because we've got a
Yes.
lot of put amber on your creatures. We've got a lot of capture. We can tank up a ballista or a lonely dino roar, and we can go for it. Well, let me do the optician's test for. No, I can't. I can't read the flavor text. Zach, go on.
Flavor text, written much thinner than the regular text. It says the crowd begin to thin out around the 3-day mark.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
all right,
that's a filibuster. A bit of knowledge of U.S. politics there.
Hey, very good,
Yeah,
very good. Yeah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, just a few more Saurian cards here, moving through our commons. Another reprint.
Oh, I love
You
the
know
art
this
on
one.
this. It's amazing. It's just stunning.
Yes, Faust the Great. Your opponent's keys cost +1 for each friendly creature with amber on it. So quite a bit of synergy with the deck so far. Really going to be able to. We have a number of options for fine tuning exactly how much amber is on friendly creatures here, which is fantastic. Excellent. Always happy to see Faust moving right along. Grammaticus
Ooh.
Thrax. This is where some of our enhancements have been coming from.
And it looks like a bird.
Yes, it's a very bird-like dinosaur, kind of sitting down, considering it's looks like it's holding a bell, and it's got a scroll here, sitting in a forum. It's got its spectacles. So, Grammaticus Thorax. The Grammaticus Thorax is 5 power and gives 2 capture pips and a damage pip, which is what I believe we've seen so far. So we may have seen all of Thorax's enhancements here. And the flavor text is, I love Thrax. He leaves me the most glowing feedback. Aloysius the Naive. Amazing.
I love it when these things tell a story.
They really do. They really do. Let's see here. Okay, we've seen 10 Saurian cards. We have 2 more. Working through our commons. Pale into insignificance.
Play. Destroy each creature with the lowest power. And there's an amber pip as well there.
Also, in the great tradition of some of the best flavor text, this one is a quote. It says, "The history books will remember my name. Unknown." Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So this is some great. It's just a great blow up a creature card because there's no chains and you've got more control over the board on your turn. And this spoiler when it was originally spoiled was actually sent to our sister podcast, Help from Future Self.
Woo!
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, last Saurian card. Recruit.
Yes.
Make a token creature. If you exalted a friendly creature this turn, archive Recruit.
I really like the theme of that because, of course, recruiting is getting a token creature. That makes a lot of sense. We've got another dinosaur, might be the same one that had the loot, fresh off giving epic poems for 5 days long. They've decided, do you know what? I want to go and be a headhunter or a recruiter, which makes sense. So,
yeah, and we've got 5 cards that. We have 5 cards that exalt in this deck so far. So, which is great for a recruit. One of them, Chancellor Dexterous, can even do it each turn. So, and we have Epic Poem for a little payoff of stacking things up. So that's fantastic. So Scholars Are Token, checking our token cards. So far, I think we only have 2 things that generate tokens. Going back and double checking, but I think it's just Recruit. It is Recruit and then Clone Home. Yep, those are the only 2 so far.
Which are both the action celebration. Is that a low number?
So far, it is a low number. Every deck should have at least 3. But there's plenty of things that generate tokens. It's possible, not common, but definitely possible to get into the double digits. So we'll see what we have in Unfathomable here. But so far, we're not going to be seeing many Scholars. Which is okay, because the deck definitely has some good game plans outside of that. But we shall see. So this should be over into Unfathomable, our Lovecraftian-esque undersea monsters. Starting with the rares. Ed, this is the sweatiest card in the set.
Is it? Really?
This is probably the sweatiest card in the set.
Oh,
this
wow.
is my first one.
It looks, I don't know what you're doing with the camera, but it looks 3D. It looks like, when you move a card around, you've got that 3D. It looks amazing. Yeah. It really does. Yeah. Should we tell the listeners what it actually is?
Yes. So, I'll describe the art first because the flavor text plays into the mechanic. It is an Aquan, but covered in these beautiful undersea flowers and kelp and other things. and there's a very androgynous Aquan here, but obviously meant to be very beautiful. They're in some sort of beautiful overflowing den.
Mm. It's
It
like
is
The
six.
Last of Us, but more friendly.
Yes, it does look like that. So this is 6 power. Some of you are guessing what it is already. This is Bryozoarch, a 6 power Aquan with the text: when your opponent plays an action card, instead of resolving its play effect, destroy the creature on your left flank. So it blanks action card text boxes, and you just blow up your own creatures instead.
I mean,
So
that feels like a fair trade, frankly.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Especially from the small sample of action cards I've seen in this set, they're pretty good, and action cards in general are pretty good. That's strong.
Yeah, it's a very good card. I'm not sure if this deck quite has the setup to really protect it, but this card is good either way. This card is good either way, which is fantastic.
I've got
And
a question
yeah,
for Sweaty Zach.
yeah.
What happens if there is no card to your left?
Destroy the creature on your left flank. Well, eventually they'll get to Bryozoarch and blow it up. So
Right. I see. Yeah.
the wisdom is you'll play it on your right flank, put as many creatures to the left as possible, and if they can't fight it off the board, they might have to keep playing action cards until they eat through your battle line.
Yeah.
So
The
so we
joke's
shall
on
see.
you when you're playing a Age of Ascension deck with loads of really bad action cards, and your opponent's going,
Right.
"Ha ha! I found a board wipe."
Right. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. All right. I'm excited to see that. That's my first Bryozoarch deck, so that is very exciting. Next up, another rare. This one is Plunder. It is a hammerhead shark Aquan taking something spiky and valuable looking from somewhere. It's got an amber pip. It's an action card that reads: play, reveal a random unrevealed card from your opponent's hand. Then you may either repeat this effect or your opponent discards the last revealed card. So, how this functionally works, Ed, is you play this card, your opponent shuffles up their hand, they reveal one at random, and then you decide, do I want to discard this card? Or do I want to look at the next card and let them keep this card?
Yeah.
So, so a great card for seeing their hand and getting to pick something to discard.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm glad it's a rare because it is a little bit more complicated to play. So it ends up just being some exciting control instead of something new players have to figure out on a regular basis at casual play sealed night.
It's almost like
So,
it's a deck for you, Zach.
yeah, it's yeah. I'm so far pretty excited. Pretty excited. You can just use Plunder to look for their answer to Bryozoarch. Be like, oh, you have a the mutant 1 power play purge creature. Anyways, yes, it's so far so good. So far so good. Next, we have Calp.
Hey, I've seen this one.
Mm-hmm. Classic from Dark Tidings
Mm.
in our uncommon slot.
Yep, very nice. Goldfish.
Yes, big goldfish apparently singing an opera or something. Ooh, okay, this deck is mean.
New.
This is new. This
Mm.
is new. Why don't you tell us about this one, Ed?
The card is Saisaloha. Is the closest I can get to pronouncing it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, I think.
Saisaloha. And no, dear listener, it's not a lovely sort of resort in Hawaii where you can sit in the sun and bathe the day away. It looks pretty terrifying. We're talking straight out of a kind of evil octopus Lovecraftian horror, but maybe with an ancient Egyptian vibe going on. Frankly, that's what I can see of it. So we're going with it. 4 power, 1 armor, 2 enhanced damaged icons, and it's got a permanent effect, and it says damaged creatures do not ready during the ready card step. Whoa, we've got so much splash damage in this deck.
We
Oh
do.
my goodness.
We
Oh,
do.
please don't play this against new players. Don't ruin people's
No,
dreams.
I won't. So far, we have Bryozoark, Kelp, Plunder, and Fissaloha. So perhaps we have a really mean concoction brewing here
Yeah, this is
in
brutal.
Unfathomable. Yeah. Speaking of brutal, uh, I have gotten a lot of use out of this card when I went on TTR. This is an action
Oh,
card called Befuddle. It gives you an amber for reasons unknown to God and man. And it
oh
says
no.
play, choose a house on your opponent's identity card. During their next turn, they cannot play cards of other houses.
What?
So
How?
it shuts
What?
off playing cards of two houses. So you can use whatever you want to, and you get one house that you still get to play from. But
What? Why does that have an amber?
I have no idea.
That's like going, do you know what would you like for Christmas? And you're like, a second Christmas. Granted.
Oh,
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. So right
Yeah.
now we are getting all of the good unfathomable cards that I've wanted to see, at the very least in a pod. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, very good.
Mm.
Next one. Oh, oh,
Are you
my
getting
luck is.
excited here,
I'm
Zach?
using up all my luck on one deck, Ed. This is terrible.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's not how luck works, Zach. It resets whenever you open a new deck.
Oh, I'm very glad to
Yeah.
hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this is Abyssal Sight, also gives an Amber Pip. It says play, destroy friendly creature. If you do, look at your opponent's hand and choose a card from it. That player discards that card.
What? And it's got an amber pip.
Uh-huh.
Um, uh, to the good people at Ghost Galaxy, this seems like an amazing set. I'm slightly concerned about the power levels of some of these cards.
This is good.
This is great. I mean, it's going to
Yeah.
be good fun. And yeah, wow. Do
Yep.
you know what? Actually, this is great because you're going to have cards that can say Martian generosity, not today, and
Mm-hmm.
proverbially throwing out the room. And it does damage some of those combo decks, I think, or at
Yeah.
least presents a threat to them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I have a ton of cards apparently in this deck that are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving right along. Fathom Reaver. So
Okay.
the art, if you're not acquainted, is this very buff Aquan with a giant spear, shoulder pad, protecting a little guy, just doing the same thing, pointing a little spear.
Mm.
It has 4 power. Play, make a token creature. While you control a token creature, your opponent refills their hand to one less card during the draw cards step.
Okay.
So
Wow. Mean.
our token creature is awfully easy to kill, and we apparently don't make a lot of them. But Fathom Reaver makes a token, so we're happy about that.
Crikey. This unfathomable lineup is just it's up there with the top tier disc lineups from set one.
Yeah. This is mean.
It's great.
It's all one of so far, but all very mean. All very mean.
Yeah, under pressure. It is an upgrade. This creature cannot ready, and it has a couple of pips on it. It's got an amber pip and a capture icon, just for good measure.
Yep. So happy to see that. That's nice. I don't think we don't have a way to exhaust a creature on our turn quite yet, but under pressure certainly gives the opponent just only one more use out of a creature before it's exhausted for good. Fantastic. All right, I believe that's the deck list. So just 4 more cards here.
Okay.
Moving through our unfathomable, still our uncommons. All right, we're to the commons.
The Glint Spine Netcaster. Creature, 2 power, enhance, 2 amber pips. I mean, that's already a dust pixie. And it says, after reap, exhaust a creature. So it's a dust pixie with a bit more.
Yeah, it's actually the enhanced pips are capture pips. Probably tough to
Oh,
see from
sorry.
that
Yeah,
distance here.
can't see.
That's okay. And I, when we started this call, I had more sunlight for you, because my,
Ah, that's the
my,
difference.
yeah, my overhead lights give some glare here. But yeah, so yeah, that's a way to exhaust on our turn, which is great to turn off fighting our tokens from Fathom Reaver, or exhausting the biggest creature that might go fight a Bryozoark there. So that's great.
Fantastic.
All right, just three more.
Hmm.
Sunk cost.
That's a
one of my
fallacy.
Yes, one of my favorite fallacies to bring up when people are engaging in it.
Yeah.
This one says it's an action card. It says play, choose a house. Your opponent discards a random card from their hand. If that card belonged to the chosen house, make a token creature.
Perfect. Great.
So it's always going to be a mind barb, and it might get you a token.
Great. Fantastic. And just to be clear, Keyforge is not a sunk cost fallacy. It is
No.
a brilliant, brilliant thing. Maybe other card games, some of them might be.
Oh
To
dear.
some
Oh dear.
people. Not throwing shade.
Two more here.
Mm-hmm.
Moving through our commons. Skullback crab. He's
Poison.
Cool. He's cute. Mm-hmm.
Well, might be cute, but I wouldn't want to go anywhere near him.
No, that's true. 1 power poison, action steal 1. So it's got some poison. If you need to fight, it can steal 1, just hanging out. So a good little workhorse of
A little
a
bit
crab.
of shadows.
Yep. Yeah, no more shadows. Exactly. And then the last one, another sunk cost. We got 2 sunk cost.
Strange that they weren't in order.
Yeah, perhaps that was a user error here. And it may be there were some sorting inconsistencies in the final production stage for some of these decks at Keyforge Celebration, so that may have been it too.
Not that
So
that's an issue.
yeah. I'm sure they're working on it because they're very aware of it, so I'm sure they're addressing it. So that is Phan, the Veterinarian of Taxation.
How do you feel about your new deck, Zach?
I enjoy it. We have my goodness, this is a very mean Unfathomable. It's going to be constantly causing issues between Calp, Bryozoark. Gosh, Plunder, Befuddle, Abyssal Sight, double sunk cost for discarding. It is so the Unfathomable is mean. It's the magic will really be in how do all the cards work together. They all have clear game plans, as far as just a pot of 12. So I'm wondering how they'll do together. Do together here. So, like good targets for Chancellor Dexterous, I'll want to check out. We have a few of them. How often we'd need that. Outpost, you know what the Amber control really looks like. There's quite a bit of creature control, and then just hand hate in Unfathomable, and a moderate amount of Amber control. So we'll see how it plays. I'm excited to try it out. I'm excited
to find out how it goes for you.
Yeah. And looking at the pips, that's 4, 5. Oh yeah, not many Amber pips here. 6. Oh man, yeah, this will really need to get effects, Amber through effects. That's a 7 total Amber pips on cards. So this deck will really need to make sure it's pulling off its tricks. And if it can generate plenty of Amber anyways, then it's a great defense against Infernus, which is fantastic.
Yep. Indeed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Excellent. So, Ed, after seeing your first batch of Winds of Exchange cards, is there anything that stood out to you the most about either like a specific card or a pattern or themes you're seeing in the cards?
I think it's just more a sense of general excitement for me. I want to get my hands on these cards. I want to play them. I want to see how these cards do together for you. I'm quite excited. I'm quite excited about that. With good old clicker, whatever the card is called. And yeah, it seems, from what I've seen so far, the art is gorgeous. The mechanics are rich, and it's just some good fun Keyforge. It doesn't seem quite as intricate, and I say that in a positive way, as Dark Tidings as well, if we take this deck as an isolated instance. So
Yep. Yep. That makes sense to me, Ed. Oh, dear listener, thank you so much for joining us for this first look at Winds of Exchange, where we looked through Phan, the Veterinarian of Taxation. It was a lot of fun to do that over camera with you, Ed. I think that was a good time. A good time. If you want to hear about what guests are coming up on Call of Discovery and submit questions to them, just like we did for the Christian T. Peterson and Michael Hurley episode, you can do that by supporting us on Patreon. We love our Patreon subscribers. They keep us doing what we're doing, and it's a fantastic group of people. By supporting us there on Patreon, you can submit questions for our future guests. You get to hear about what future guests are coming on before the general public does, which is great. And we also have some Patreon-exclusive content coming in the new year. You'll hear more about that a little bit later. You can reach us at podcast@callofdiscovery.com. Hit us up on Twitter or most of the other social media sites. And thank you so much for listening. We wouldn't be here without you. A reminder that as Keyforge restarts, there's the new player guide on Archon Arcana, and it's linked in the description. Please go check that out. Have that link at the ready to help onboard any new players that you're getting in this new age of Keyforge. But lastly, dear listener, you know I've got to ask it. Have you answered the call of discovery?